What's up, everybody? Sorry, y'all. There we go. Got a new layout backstage. What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Legion of Raw with Vince Russo with the bicep going off the frame. Vince Russo, how are you, man?
Doctor, I got to tell you something, man. What was it? What's today? Tuesday?
Today's Monday. Today's Monday. Yes, today's Monday.
Maybe it was Saturday, bro. I think it was Saturday. Okay. Bro,
the Ohio State Buckeyes absolutely obliterated.
Bro. I saw that. Obliterated. Well, let me tell you what else happened on Saturday, bro. And I'm not kidding you either. You know, my son is here. And my daughter-in-law and my two grandchildren, Amelia and Emery, 2 and 6. So Emery wants to go roller skating. Bro, I'm knocking on the door of 64.
Yes.
The last time I went roller skating, I was probably 14.
Wow, 50 years ago.
So we go to the rink, and I'm like, I'm not putting on a pair of roller skates. I'll kill myself. I haven't been on roller skates in 50 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my middle son came with us, and he was skating around. And then he was done skating, and he took off his skates, and they happened to be the same size I wear.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm going to lace these bad boys up. I'm going to get out there, bro. Doctor, I could not stand up on the skates. Bro, I took one hellacious bump where I swear I concussed myself, bro.
Yeesh.
I went down so hard, and my shoulder like folded this way, and it just twisted my neck, and I had like a whiplash head action.
Eesh.
Bro, I've been feeling woozy like ever since.
Oh man.
One bump, bro. One bump.
That bites, man. Sorry to hear that. One of the best things you can do with concussions is plenty of rest.
Yeah, man. Brutal. I thought I could still do it, bro. It's amazing. You think you can still do things, and as you get older, bro, you just can't do them anymore, bro.
Vince, think about wrestling. Think about wrestlers.
Oh my God,
who
bro.
are your age, and
bro,
they still think that they can put one more match in, one more bout at the skating rink, one more time, more time,
bro. Seriously, man.
That's how they feel, man. The same type of energy. I think I can do one more. So, yep. Speaking of one more match, this is the penultimate Raw of the USA era. And this is the penultimate Raw that we got to enjoy the past 2 months with an abbreviated Raw. But 2 more weeks,
I know, man,
we are back.
Well,
3 hours,
bro. Not only that, we've got a huge problem because Chris, on Netflix, you can't record it.
Right.
So I used to start, it's on 6 to 9 here. I'd start recording at 6. I would tune in sometimes 7:30-ish.
Yep.
Bro, I got to sit through Raw for freaking 3 hours now?
Yeah. That's gonna be tough, man. Yeah, and plus I would usually wait about like 20-30 minutes and then start so I can get past the commercials and stuff. But man, I'm gonna have to start right at 8.
That's gonna be brutal, bro. That is going to be brutal.
Brutal, man.
Brutal.
Hopefully there's some ways out of that, and there's some loopholes we can find in between now and January 6th. But until then, we got Drew McIntyre cutting. I mean, this is a tape show last week. They taped it in Boston. They are all enjoying. They're all enjoying. You know what I mean? So,
bro, I got to tell you, I cannot stand, because I've been there and I actually done it. I cannot stand when Sami Zayn is talking about all the sacrifices. You know, we miss the birthday parties, we miss the weddings, we miss this, we miss that. You're basically talking about sacrificing your family. Then he says, this is the life we chose. We're the lucky ones. Okay, bro, so let me get this straight. You chose to put wrestling in front of your family, and you're one of the lucky ones? Seriously, bro? I swear to God, bro, that promo makes me sick. Because you know what you're saying in that promo? What you're saying in that promo is, I am selfish. I had a dream. I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and that dream was going to supersede everything and everybody else in my life, including my own children and my wife. That's exactly what you're saying. And you know what, bro? If that's the choice you made, fine, bro, no problem. You're going to be dealing with that choice when you're 50, 60, 70 years old and you realize you weren't around and there isn't a darn thing you can do about it. But if that was your choice, doctor, I don't think that's something I would boast about. I certainly don't boast about it. I admit putting my family on the back burner when I was at the WWE for 5 years, and I am ashamed of that. And Sammy's boasting about being one of the lucky ones because I sacrificed my family. That's bro.
Yeah, that's the beast of pro wrestling and pro wrestlers, man. It's you know this, Vince. I mean, they sacrifice so much for their family and friends. They've been doing. I mean, especially people like a Sami Zayn. I mean, they have it easy, you know, compared to territory days, man. I mean, this is one of the best loops. Typically, I mean, nowadays you get it off, but you know, in the 80s, twice on, you know, you would have a Christmas loop twice on Christmas Day, oftentimes because people are off work. And so the gates are usually bigger. So they, you know, a lot of times it wasn't no guaranteed contract. So they would do Christmas shows and Thanksgiving shows in order to draw a huge gate, in order to divvy, you know, the funds like they used to. So these guaranteed contracts, man, they have it pretty easy. And so it's interesting because he was saying that last week. And so it goes to show, Vince, with the taped shows and things like that, do you think that helps or that should help the mind of a professional wrestler being able to spend the holidays with their kids and family?
Oh yeah, bro, but my point is, yeah, that definitely helps, Chris. But my point is, don't boast about choosing wrestling over your family. That's nothing to be proud of, bro. Like, seriously, you're basically saying I'm a selfish PRICK and I wanted to be a professional wrestler and I chose to do this and make the decision to be away from my family. Bro, like I said, if that's your personal decision, that's fine. But to be boasting about it like you're one of the lucky ones, bro, to be away from your family every week. What's an unlucky one then?
And Drew was the baby face of it all because
he absolutely was.
He was talking about how like Drew missed his family and is overseas.
Drew was talking about somebody very close to me died, and I got slapped across the face with a dose of reality.
Yeah, I mean that's the baby face, you know, of the bunch to me, you think. And he said, well, I don't have the luxury of visiting my family.
Right.
They're, they're out of the country. They're across across the globe. And so, I mean, you think that he'd be the one that'd being cheered, but I mean, Sammy is catering to the avid wrestling fans, man.
Right, that wrestling is the most important thing in his life because Sammy is saying this is the most important thing in my life. That's what he's saying.
And Vince, he's talking to a lot of people. He's talking to a niche audience that wrestling is undoubtedly the most important thing in their lives. And so it fits perfectly to the audience that he's speaking to. That's even if the promo was not even genuine. You know, from what I've known, Sammy's a pretty solid family guy. But at the same time, he's talking to an audience who lives, eats, breathes, drinks, sleeps wrestling. So they're going to feed right into that. And he's playing like an everyman character. You know, he's been kind of like that, but he's feeding more into that by saying, I hear you, pro wrestling fans. I know that you're obsessed with pro wrestling, and I'm like one of you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's his babyface promo that he's cutting.
Yep.
Let's see here. We have David, $2 RPM, Justin Trudeau, now a bigger heel than KO. Is that the Prime Minister for Canada?
Yeah. I don't know what he did that made him a big heel.
Yeah, I thought he was the Prime Minister. I don't know about that. Let us know, David, what happened with Justin Trudeau. I was just in Canada a couple months ago, man. First time there. It's pretty good. Nice. David, $2. Merry Christmas to both of your families, Dr. Chris and Vince.
Same to you, David. Same to you.
There we go. You as well, David Duffett. You as well, my man. Appreciate that. Wes Hill, $5. It's embarrassing that people in X are saying Kofi's mom leaving was the best part of Raw.
Oh,
what does that say for the Raw?
That was horrible, bro. Like this show is so childish, and so they are so out of touch with reality in this show. Like it's an absolute freaking joke. That was a joke, bro. That was a joke of a freaking segment.
Yeah, but guess what? Again, fans loved it.
Right.
They love it.
Yeah, good for them. They can continue to love it, bro. They probably loved Io Sky against Alba Fire too, bro.
Of course they did.
Good for them. Yes.
Yep. Io Sky, Alba Fire, Natalia, IC title tournaments. That came after a backstage thing of PFC said, hey, Adam Pearce, we should get rewarded. You know, so what now? We attacked Kairi Sane, and Adam Pearce didn't give them what they want. Instead, he said, Io Sky. So do we get it? Are we getting a like? So if Io Sky wins the title tournament, I didn't make a hint on Twitter, so I never said who it was. Twitter is hilarious, man. I love talking to pro wrestling fans on Twitter. There's a huge chunk of my followers are very sane and level-headed, and then you have like the obsessed, like just the wildly obsessed, low EQ'd crowd that's just ready to just like unbridled, unhinged, you know what I mean? I just dangle the carrot and just like play right into it, and it's hilarious. But the extremism that comes with a lot of these comments are absolutely hilarious. I drop a hint flagged with the warning sign.
I saw that. I saw it.
And then that created a firestorm of why are you reporting spoilers? Oh, and I'm just like, and I'm looking at that, and I'm literally chuckling while I'm looking at that, and people are just getting so worked up about that. Right? It's hilarious to report on my page about what my fans are saying, and people get so worked up, man. This Twitterverse of pro wrestling fans are absolutely hilarious, and it just goes to show, the more that I see that, Vince, the more that I'm like, okay, so all this makes even more sense to me of like why they're booking the way that they're booking.
Of course,
because this crowd of so many pro wrestling fans, they are just insatiated. They're engrossed and ingratiated as well in this pro wrestling culture that it really defines them. Like what is it? Like the Comic-Cons and cosplay culture and things like that. You really get so immersed in the culture, and pro wrestling is the same way. I mean, it's the same way. The more you see it on socials, and that's really the biggest chunk of the audience. They're really marketing oftentimes. their opinions are doesn't really mean much, but the type of audience, it feeds right into what they're promoting. That's the reason why you can have $2,000 tickets and they're people are going to complain away, but they're going to swipe away too.
It is, bro, because it's like, well, first of all, I just want to say one thing, like, bro, you know, again, somebody there is in love with Io Sky. They have given Io Sky so much. When you look at this match, it tells you like literally Natalya is yesterday's news because you've given Io Sky so much. Why wouldn't you have made this about maybe Natalya's last shot and make people believe Natalya was gonna win? Why wouldn't you go there? Nope, we're gonna put Io Sky over again, like we've put her over 1 billion times. And then, bro, you go from that to the clubhouse. And I'm watching this scene in the clubhouse. And Chris, I'm gonna ask you a simple question. Do you know of any adults that act this way?
I don't personally, but there's tons of people who play video games as adults.
No, I'm not talking about playing video games. The exchange between Finn Balor and Liv, where the other ones had to relay the message, they were acting like 12-year-old freaking children. When do adults act? I've never seen adults act that way.
So here's the thing, Vince. I personally don't. None of my close colleagues act like that. But again, Vince, these are pro wrestling fans we're talking about. So this fits right into the model of the market. It fits right into it. I guarantee you, I can look at so many pro wrestling fans. If I was a fly on the wall, I would see so many chunks of pro wrestling fans doing the same exact thing. So it fits right into it,
bro. If they've accepted the fact that they are never, ever, ever, ever going to have a casual fan base again, then fine, bro. Like seriously, because people watch this stuff and they're saying the same thing that I'm saying. Yeah. Do adults really freaking act this way? They're saying the same things that I'm saying, bro.
Yep. But I think what you just said is truth. I think at this point, you know, the desire to reach a market, like if you think about it, Vince, Saturday Night's Main Event wasn't anything like they barely showed legends, right? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't any type of tie-in to the Saturday Night's Main Event of old. There was zero tie-in to it, other than, you know, hey, here's a couple legends and that's it. But it was, you had to really know about the product to look at this and say, oh, okay, I'm engaged. There wasn't anything. There wasn't like a big marquee, you know, part except for Jesse the Body Ventura. Other than that, what was like the buy-in for casual fans for Saturday Night's Main Event?
There was none. There was
no buy-in.
And everybody's saying the same thing I'm saying. They're remembering when they watched it years and years ago, and they're basically saying these are the wrestling stars of today. Okay, well, I'm not interested.
Yeah, that's why.
Bro, I just want to point out to everybody. I just want to point out to my friend Disco. Okay, bro, they were hawking tickets for the Netflix Raw that isn't sold out. The day after that in LA isn't sold out. So don't be sitting there telling me they're selling out every place when they have not even sold out that first Netflix show yet.
Interesting. I'll see how many tickets is left on that here in a minute. When after David Duff at $2, should song Out of Touch be themed for WWE?
That's that. How hysterical would that be? You're out of touch. I'm out of time. How hysterical that would crack me up, David. I would love to see that, bro. With Halls and Oates, that'd be awesome.
There you go. Very nice. Hayes $5. Who are you guys' top 5 all time? Honor Jericho, Hogan, Booker T, Triple H, and Nash. Honorable mention Brock. We've done this before, but hey, for the new viewers, thanks Hayes for the super chat. Where do you got, Vince?
You go first. You go first, Doctor. Go ahead.
I know who your number one is, but yeah, my top 5 has been the same top 5 for 25 years at least. Number 5, Chris Jericho. Number 4, Booker T. Number 3, Ricky Steamboat. Number 2, Dusty Rhodes. Number 1, of course, my all-time favorite wrestler, Vince. Who is it?
Sting.
Sting. Yes, indeed. Sting. Your turn, Vince.
Bro, I'm really going old school, bro.
All right.
Number 1 is Savage.
Yes.
I'm really going old school now. Valiance, Luscious, nice. Jimmy, Handsome Johnny, the Big Cat, bro. The Big Cat. I met one time and almost fainted. The big 3 I'm gonna put together is 1, bro. The Grand Wizard, Blasty, and Albano.
Nice.
And bro, I gotta tell you, I loved them growing up. And like in my older years, I wasn't in love with a wrestler outside of Savage. You know what I mean? So it really goes back to the beginning, bro. I loved Chief J Strong.
Nice.
I loved the Chief, bro. Loved him.
Nice. And I know who your honorable mention is, by the way.
Who's that? Yes, I know who it is. All right, bring him up. Okay, you're stalling. Bring him up. Don't stall. Bring him up.
No, I gotta stall. It's suspense, Vince. I gotta stall.
Wait, hold on. Let me give you some music. I was gonna give you some music. Hold on, Chris. Let me give you some suspense music. Here we go. Go ahead, Chris.
Very nice. Very nice. I got one for you. Here we go. Honorable mention for Vince Russo is...
Yeah, the Toots.
The Toots. Very nice. Toots for the win, ladies and gentlemen. Toots for the win. He's a handsome fella right there.
I swear to God, he looks like Eric Young's twin brother. It cracks me up. It cracks me up.
It would be so hilarious, man, if Eric Young, if he came back to the WWE, he should do like an old school Backlund style, just kind of shoot fighter wrestler with
all you got to do is drop him on his head.
There you go.
And he thinks he's Tootsmond.
There you go.
That's all you got to do, bro. It's all you got to do. That would be over so huge because Eric would play that to a freaking T, bro.
He would. Yes, indeed, he would, man. That would be absolute classic if he was Tootsmon all of a sudden. We got Uncle Cuban $5, Prime 10A 0509 0509 on the Better Network TNT. What viewership do you believe you could have achieved 2.5 to 3 million?
Oh God, bro. I mean, we were at 2 million at Spike. So God, I would say 2.5, 3 million was very, very reachable, I would say.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, we got McDowell's $10. What's up with wrestlers cutting promos in the back at the same time? While that has nothing to do with the wrestler standing in the ring. New Day and Rey Mysterio segment. Sammy offers nothing, by the way.
Bro, they are so like it is so they don't even care anymore, bro, because like Chris, there was a moment tonight. We were just on, they were all in the clubhouse. Okay. Yes. And Dominic says, okay, I'm gonna go fight Damian Priest tonight for all of us. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go see Pierce. Bro, 10 minutes later, the match is in the ring. Like they don't even care anymore. Like, okay, bro, so there were no matches booked on this card, and anybody can go in Pierce's office during the show and get a match 5 minutes later. There's such a lack of caring about that stuff anymore. It's just ridiculous, bro, that, okay, he leaves to go Pierce, and 10 minutes later, he's in a ring with Damian Priest.
Yeah.
They don't even care, bro. There's not even an effort to try to make sense out of any of it anymore.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while with this. Let's just walk up to Pierce and just basically do his job for him. Yeah. So, yeah. Currently, there's 2,224 tickets left.
2,224. Yeah.
Yep. So far, they've shout out to Russell Ticks for doing a really good job doing these analytics here. So there's 12,632 tickets. The past week, they've sold 1,321. So they are on par to selling out based on the current trend. So it's about close to a 15,000 seater, 14,856, and so they got 12,632. So they should next couple of weeks it should be sell out or close to it. So that's not too bad for the Intuit Dome, 14,000.
Where is it again? LA,
the
right?
Intuit Dome, LA. Yeah,
LA, yeah.
I think San Jose the next week after that, on the 13th, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah.
All right, we have what's next, Vince? What's
we got the Clubhouse. Then we had Sammy and Jay. God, bro. Then we had a 5-minute Netflix promo. Again, thank you, USA Network, for promoting Netflix. That's awesome. Then we had American Made again. It was Tozawa against Gable. Okay, bro. So they're going to give us Gable and Otis 6 months later. Remember that, Chris?
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, like they went there and they never did anything for whatever reason. Remember?
Yeah. I think that they did that to throw in the Wyatt Sicks in there. So, and I think because the Wyatt Sicks has died down, unfortunately, now they can go back to that angle. You know what I mean? And we'll talk about the Wyatt Sicks. Vince, man.
I mean, bro, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Uncle Howdy not even there?
I didn't see him.
He wasn't there.
I didn't see him. I saw Rowan. Loomis was the one fighting. I saw Nikki Cross and Gacy.
I thought for sure they were going to retreat up the aisle and Uncle Howdy was going to appear.
Did he appear in the ring afterwards?
No. Unless, guys, please, Sports Key to Nation, please tell me if we missed Uncle Howdy, because I'm watching this. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I might have missed him. I don't recall seeing him. Yeah.
I don't recall seeing him at all. But like I said, maybe I missed him. I don't know. But
I'll find out. All right, what's next? What do you think about the Gable? No, he wasn't there.
What?
Vince, someone's going to clip that. I think they're going to recall. I think they're going to clip that and pretty much explain. That pretty much explains it all.
Bro, that's like having a Friday the 13th movie or a Nightmare on Elm Street, and the last 15 minutes of the movie, nobody knows where Freddy is. Like, Freddy's not there. We 15 minutes, and then we go home, and Freddy never came. What?
Like, where's Jason? Where'd he go? Like, there's nothing. There's no kill off angle. There's nothing. Just hey, Freddy Krueger. Hey, Jason. Go take you a break. Go get you some Chipotle.
You're gonna look. Anybody is going to look at the entire story arc of the Wyatt Sicks, and you're gonna tell me Triple H is a great booker. You're really gonna look me in the eye and tell me that when you look at the way the Wyatt Sicks has been handled from day one. Come on, Chris.
I'll say this, Vince. I really don't have a strong say as far as if he's good or bad, but I'll just say from what I see, this Wyatt Sicks, I told you from the very beginning I didn't have a lot of faith in it. I remember when you put over the segments, and I said, yeah, the segments were good, but I'm not convinced. I kept saying that I'm not convinced that this will work, and it hasn't.
I said from day one, Bo Dallas really wanted to do this in honor of his brother, and they couldn't say no, but nobody there believed in it. So we can't say no to Bo. This is how we want to honor Bray. Let's go ahead and do this. Not one person was behind it, and not one person believed in it. And it's as clear as day now. And we said this a freaking year ago.
Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning. I mean, like it started last summer, a half a year ago. And I said from the very beginning, I'm not sold. I kept saying that. I'm not sold because if you're trying to build this Wyatt Sicks, if it's in honor of Bray, you would want it just as good or better than who it's honoring.
Yep.
If it's anything less than that, that's not honoring Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Because that is making it look that's not representing to its totality the person you're honoring. That's like saying we're doing this game in honor, or the Giants is doing this in honor of Vince Russo, and they get shut out 15-0. Like that's not honoring anyone.
Let's go one step further to piggyback what Doctor is saying. Chris, can you imagine Bray Wyatt looking down and watching this?
Dude.
Can you imagine him looking down and watching the he's up there saying, again? Are you kidding me? Again?
And the thing is, Vince, man, we both just wildly put Bray over. I mean, just one of the best creative minds that ever was involved, ever was affiliated with the WWE. The guy was an absolute genius. I'm wondering because I know that there was a clash between him and Vince. Vince, do you think that with Triple H at the helm and giving those people more of an opportunity, from what I think he was the bat to bring Bray back? Do you think that? See, I guess what it boils down to, there wouldn't be no Wyatt Sicks if Bray was still alive, right? So, and when Bray was still alive, Vince had him in some type of odd, him and Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy gives him a Sister Abigail. That was weird. LA Knight comes in and he actually gets more over than Bray did, because they was teasing the Lashley thing, and then he got sick. And so, man, there was just so many missed opportunities when it came to Bray Wyatt. If Triple H was at the helm then and doing all of the creative without Vince, do you think anything would have changed?
Chris, they don't understand TV. They know wrestling. That's what they know. Like I tell you, Chris, I was an avid television viewer. I was inspired to make our show as good as some of the other shows I was watching. Like, my God, if I was still writing there and I'm watching the Penguin, I am inspired to come up with a character this great. They don't know television, bro. They know wrestling, and everything turns into a bad wrestling angle, including Kofi's mother. Every single thing is a bad wrestling angle.
Yeah. Just like I said 6 months ago, Vince, with this Wyatt Sicks thing, I said, I'm not sold. And this to me will be really unveiled in his first match. Like how does the roads lead to the first match and the first angle? And what has the Wyatt Sicks done to really up their stock other than be like kooky? Because like the people who they're beating is Alpha Academy or American Alpha or American Made now. And so that's not a lot of stock, you know what I mean? Because they haven't elevated at all. And now they're in a feud with the Final Testament, who was back and forth 50-50 like nobody's business. Okay, so say if they win the payoff match against Final Testament, the Final Testaments is going to go back into 50-50, maybe 60-40. So, and then there's rumors now. I haven't heard about this, so I can't confirm it. There's been rumors now of Judgment Day perhaps being the next feud for the Wyatt Sicks. What's the payoff with this stuff, Vince?
Chris, you say this every single week. It's the pop. It's the pop. It's the pop. So what was this whole match between Miz and Dexter Lumis? First of all, bro, on their own show, they're saying Dexter Lumis hasn't had a match since February 2023. Guys, that's almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Why is he on the roster then? Why is this dude on the roster if he hasn't had a match in 2 years? That's number one. Number two, why would you even say that? Because if you're telling me this guy has not had a match in 2 years, here's what you're telling me. This guy's not important. That's what you're telling me. He's not important. What, bro? You're going to tell me Cody Rhodes hasn't had a match in 2 years? You're telling me this guy means nothing. But Chris, what do you always say? The pop. So, bro, while they're laying this out, this is exactly what they're doing. Okay, bro, we're gonna have Miz against Dexter Lumis, and here comes AOI and what are they? AOP? What are they? AOP and Cross, and they're getting heat. They're getting heat. The lights go out and the Wyatts are in the ring. There's your pop. Yep. That's it. That's it, bro. That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
It means absolutely nothing else. That's it.
And as long as the fans pop, they're going to keep booking the same way.
That's right.
I mean, it's palm of their hands, Pavlovian dogs.
Yep.
I mean, that's essentially what we're looking at. We're looking at a Pavlovian experiment every single week when it comes to pro wrestling. Yep. As a psychology doctor, I love seeing this because it's just material for me to talk about on Pancakes and Power Slam, since I talk about psychology when it comes to pro wrestling. But it's business wise, it's like, man, I wish that the market would be more would hold the
challenge them,
hold them more accountable.
Yes,
I wish that they would do stuff like that more, but they're not doing that.
No.
So why should I change a structure if you're just basically worshiping in many ways the structure that I'm laying, and just like Pavlovian dogs just reacting to it? What am I changing, right? And plus, I'm making money hand over fist. I don't have to be as urgent as you were in the booking style. You were urgent because you wanted to. Every week was a potential to get more clientele. The clientele was the casual fans, period. And every time I got more casual fans, the more that's going to expand the audience. That's business. That's a simple business structure. But now what you have is you have a cosplay culture. Here's the thing when you comes to like a cosplay culture and Comic Cons and all that, they're not looking to reach like people who don't know too much about like cosplay, right? They don't care about that. They're not saying, hey, non-cosplay, non-avid cosplayer, come to the comic. No, they don't care about that.
Because, Chris, they know that's a niche market.
Correct.
Wrestling has made wrestling a niche market. Yes. It was not bro, remember the WWE, what the world is watching. The world was watching. The world was watching. You guys turn this into a niche product, man.
Yeah. And I think there's many reasons why. I would even say from a psychological standpoint, a lot of wrestling fans have gravitated to that cosplay culture, very, very niche, and they see this bloodthirsty, they see this move, match, and things like that, and they find security in this little pocket of pro wrestling, and doing market research and things like that. They see that, you know what I mean? And now it's like, hey, look, we're not going to spend a lot of time inviting non-cosplay people to the Comic-Cons. We're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is we're going to make the exhibit really cool and grandiose for the current culture. We're going to make that huge and really big. And so what they're doing, Netflix, Vince, is they're doing a big convention for the cosplay culture. That's essentially what they're doing. This mini WrestleMania is essentially the WWE's version of saying, hey, we're going to really boost this up really good for our current audience. And guess what? We follow the socials. Our algorithms are wrestling stuff because we're pundits. We see people eating from it, eating. Oh, this is going to be the best Raw ever. This is going to be amazing. Light up, they're about to cook. This is going to be amazing. Take my money. I've been praying for this. Like stuff. They are obsessed. And the more WWE sees that, the more they're like, oh, let's just sit back and let them eat. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're dealing with now, Vince. That's whether we like it or not. You know, us as traditional wrestling fans, we don't necessarily. I mean, we don't approve of it. You know, there's some dissatisfaction. There's some huge dissatisfaction as far as the new model, but it's not made for us.
Chris, you know, I got to tell you something. It's not whether I'm not going to speak for you. It's not whether I like it or not. I am so far past that. I could care less. I really could care less. Mm-hmm. My biggest issue is, I'm going to be honest, Chris, I feel like an idiot watching this stuff. I feel like an absolute idiot. I feel like a third grade dropout watching this stuff. That's what it is. I could care less. I could care less if you ever go for casual fans again. It doesn't affect me. It means nothing to me. I'm not a wrestling fan. I'm never going to be a wrestling fan again. This is a freaking job for me. I get paid very well. But I feel like an idiot when I am watching these shows.
Yeah. I think that's what that's where I'm at now. I mean, you know, you and I both talked as far as just the disappointment that comes with the current product. My mentality is, man, look, I get paid very well, you know, talking about wrestling. You know, I mean, that's a blessing to me. And this is like not even my primary job. You know what I mean? I'm literally at home right now in my studio making good money, talk about wrestling. I mean, that's just, that alone, because how my mentality is when it comes to business and gratitude and my beliefs and things like that, it's great. And then we have a great following. We have an amazing following, man, as far as our shows are concerned. You become a great friend of mine. We talk, you know what I mean? We have a great time, and it's great. You know what I mean? As far as just me watching the product, I'm definitely not like, oh, I can't wait to watch Raw. You know what I mean? Oh, I can't. Oh, they're cooking. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. Whoa, what a match. You know what I mean? Like I've stopped doing that for probably 15 years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, man, I'm just a gratitude type of guy. And it's like, there's people who pray to be in our particular positions right now. And the very fact that makes me grateful for where I'm at. And I do think that there's a lot of people who are on the socials who desire to be in our position. So they're going to try to take us down. You know what I mean? Because who doesn't want to get paid to talk about pro wrestling? But I think at the same time, man, I love working with you. Sportskeeda treats me like royalty over here. So that's fantastic. And we got some good people in the chat. We got some really good people. Speaking of chat, Michael Pesolano, 199, my top 5, Bruno, Spiros, Arion, Valiance, Putski, and
Wow.
Piper. Man,
That's a great lineup. That is a great lineup, Michael. God, when Spiros Arian turned on the Chief, what a freaking heel. Putski. Putski is one of those forgotten guys. Bro, he was over huge.
He was.
Huge, and he rarely gets a mention. So I'm glad that Michael mentioned Ivan Putski was over huge, bro.
Oh, he was huge, man. He had that Polish hammer.
Yeah.
His son Scott was pretty cool too, man. I think. I mean, he looked like a million. Still does. I still talk to Scott nowadays, and man, it still looks like $1 million. And he was just. You worked with Scott. He was there when you were there, weren't he? Like 97 times.
I work with him here and there. Yeah, I worked with him a couple of times.
I think during your time there, who was in charge of the light heavyweight division during that time? Like Funaki and Brian Christopher, Scott Taylor.
It was probably.
Christian.
I mean, that was before I came in, so that had a lot of Bruce on it.
Oh, okay, got you. Because they had Scott Putski jacked up, the daggone chiseled out of stone, jacked up, had dude in a daggone light heavyweight division losing matches against light heavyweights, man. I always thought that I was in high school at the time, and I remember because I used to watch Global. I mean, I watched wrestling. I mean, I grew up watching wrestling, man. I told you my great grandma, and I watched everything. And I watched World Class. I watched IWCCW when it would come in the locals. That's when the Tasmaniac was when Taz was Tasmaniac, and you would have Global that would come on ESPN 4:00, and I would go from school to watch Global. And I remember during that time when he was, a big name at the time. And I was like, man, I don't understand why in the world having Global being such a thing back in the day, and having Global being such a really cool concept at that time. Man, it was cool to see. It was really cool to see. So, but I mean, it was just confusing to me as why. But even in Global though, Scott Putski was super over in Global, and they take him from that being one of the top names in Global to WWE being a part of the light heavyweight division. I remember him being so over in Global in the early 90s, and then mid 90s toward the late 90s, I was like, that's Scott Putski. Like, what are they doing with him? So 199, Dan, Taker Kane should be agents for Bray and Wyatt Sicks.
That's a great insight, Dan. I love that. Very nice.
Yeah. Man, who else do you think, Vince, if Taker and Kane wouldn't be able to do it? What do you think about like a Foley? He was very creative.
Yeah, no, he would have been great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's still around, so why not? I mean, you'd think that they do need more special, like a specific, like production, like agent, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What else we got down the card, Vince?
Yeah, just a couple of things. We talked about Dominic and Damian Priest, which we've seen a million freaking times, and now the War Raiders get involved. So now we're going to have 6 mans and the War Raiders and Priest. I mean, they beat this stuff to death, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. Bro, I actually enjoyed the freaking Rollins sit down because he wasn't acting like a freaking you-know-what clown. This was the first time in God knows how long that I saw this guy cut a straight promo, no stupid glasses, no stupid laugh, and I was actually able to listen to him during this promo. So I thought that was good.
Then we did the New Day at the announce table, and then the stuff with his mom in the front row, which again, bro, like, come on, like this is just so freaking stupid. But here's another thing. Let's talk about the main event for a second, bro. We got Sami Zayn and Drew again. Bro, they actually tell us Sammy is 0-10 against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Then why are we having this match?
So the first thing I thought about with this, Vince, I said, oh, I bet you they're going to start. They're going to make that a thing. Like, and the payoff would be Sammy finally.
Oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse. The fact that Sammy's 0-10 and we're having this match anyway. By the way, Chris, what did I say last week about Sami Zayn? Did I say, Sammy, you should be selling your own merch, Jey Uso? What shirt did Sammy have on this week?
Sammy Uso.
Okay, thank you.
He started wearing that weeks ago, though, like right by like when he joined the Bloodline again. That's when
he wore the Yeet shirt. But anyway,
he still wear Jay's stuff. Yes, but he wears Sammy Uso too.
So they tell us Sammy is 0-10. So I'm like, okay, then why are we having this match? But bro, like here's the thing. So Bloodline comes out and beats up Jay and Sammy.
Yeah.
Bro, didn't they just beat them at freaking War Game? That's the end, guys. That is the end. It's over. You had War Games and the good guys won. Yeah. My God, how long are we going to carry this crap out, Chris?
Yeah, so they beat the heels, the New Bloodline, but they didn't take the Ula Fala, right? So because they didn't take the Ula Fala, the heels are going to get the heat. Now, when it comes to like Polynesian culture, I get it. You know what I mean? Like that's a big thing. That is a big thing, you know, when it comes to Polynesian culture. The Ula Fala is assigned as like top rank, chief, things like that, power, prestige, highest rank, and things like that. More actually going to talk about that in my show tomorrow about the psychology of sibling rivalry, and I'll talk about the Ula Fala. But I get that. But now there was no stakes when it came to the match with at Survivor Series. There's no stakes to that. That could have been for the Ula Fala,
right?
But they wanted to save it for January 6th, you know, to make that a big deal. First time in like 2.5 years since Roman Reigns competed on the Raw. And so now the Ula Fala is for January 6th. So what they're doing is they're getting the heat on Solo. They're going to heat on Solo on Sammy and Jay in order to make it, because he's going to lose to Reigns, but they're putting the heat on him to make the match more believable. So that's their philosophy behind it. Yeah. Is it convincing to people who are non-hardcore fans? No. But again, I say
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like it's not booked for us, man.
That's fair. It's not booked for us. It doesn't matter, bro.
Yep, it's not booked for us. All right. I don't see any more super chats. I don't think I missed any. We'll give you a little bit more time about okay, cool. Well, if I don't see any more super chats, we'll get into the plugs. Vince, what you got for me, my brother?
Yeah, guys, as always, man, try us out, man. You've never been a member of my Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Russo TWC and get a free week of Russo's brand. Many different tiers you can choose from. It'll cost you absolutely nothing. Patreon.com/Russo TWC.
Awesome. Be sure to follow me at Chris Prolific. Breaking news like crazy over there. Shout out to my Pancakes and Power Slam show, man. Last week we had 736 live viewers.
Jeez, that's awesome, Chris. Yeah, good for you, man. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I love that.
Thank you, man. So I appreciate your support like crazy. So now I'm on a thing where let's beat the last week. So I had like 300 and something the week before, and so I'm doing a competition of.
That's great, man. That's how you keep getting better and better and better. You got to challenge yourself, man.
Absolutely.
Everybody out there, you got to challenge yourself, bro. Be the best you can absolutely be, man.
Yep, that's why I have classes every week. I talk about psychology. We have fun classes when it comes to. I put my professor hat on. We have some really cool classes, man. Talk about the correlation and the integration of psychology and pro wrestling, and so we've been doing that for a while. I had a horrible migraine last week during my live show, but man, y'all came out and supported me like crazy. So it had 380 something, I think, 2 weeks ago, and I was like, let's challenge it and beat it. And it, like, early in the show, I was already at 400, so was able to beat it, and then I went up all the way to 736. And it didn't drop. Like they were in it, they were engaged, and they watched the whole show and never dipped. So it was great, man. So that means so much to me. I really, really appreciate all the support I've been getting over the past few months, especially on PNP. So now there's a competition for y'all to beat 736. So I would love to get 1,000 people live while I'm talking about psychology and pro wrestling. So be sure to subscribe to Pancakes and Power Slam. Some really cool things coming up here on Sports Kid Wrestling. Backstage Pass too. Vince Russo doing his thing over the Backstage Pass, SmackDown stuff. And what else do you do at Backstage Pass?
Just that. Mac the Knife, bro. I love Mac too. Mac's such a cool dude, bro. He's such a cool dude. I like Mac a lot.
Yeah. Mac is really, really cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, this guy right here is Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris. This is the Legion of Raw.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yes, that's right. Merry Christmas. We'll be here next week, right before New Year. So Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night, everybody. Solo. Merry Christmas.